Country, I'm Chaz Hay. First up on this week's show is an artist who one critic pointed out is one of the few female stars that is going to be mentioned by virtually any country music fan. Her name is Suzy Bogguss, and she's definitely a star. She's not only got an incredible voice, she's a talented songwriter. And unlike most artists, she produces her own albums.
'Cause if love won't fly on its own free will, it's gonna catch that outbound plane.
It's been a long time working at this to get to this level. And I was reading that there was a point where you were thinking you could lose your record deal if you didn't come up with something, and so you kind of took the bull by the horns. Is that true?
That's when I started producing, yes. That was the album Aces.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really one of those situations where Bowen was kind of looking at me saying, look, I know that you're trying to do something here, but I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you just need to do it so that you know that you get what you're looking for.
So producer Jimmy Bowen, who also happened to be president of Liberty Records at the time, took a chance and let Bogguss handle almost all of the production chores. It was a brilliant move. Aces, released in '91, was her breakthrough album.
It was a question really just of making the music sound like I heard it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And so a good part of the time has been experimentation for me.
The first single was written by Ian Tyson in the '60s. Producer Bowen wasn't so sure about Bogguss covering the song.
Just out of the service, he's looking for his fun. Someday soon, going with him someday soon.
Someday Soon was the first release off of there, and it became a big hit, and it was a song that he didn't want me to record. He kept saying to me, you're going to get all these comparisons to Judy Collins, and it's not going to be, it's not going to be good for you. And I said, well, just let me record it, and then we'll see how it comes out.
Her instincts were right on, and a Nancy Griffith tune, Outbound Plane, was her second hit, and Bogguss was on the road to stardom. Her next album, Voices in the Wind, also contained some great song choices, like the Lowell George penned Heartache. And the John Hyatt tune, Drive South.
Come on, baby, drive. Come on, baby, drive south.
With those hits, Bogguss was a bona fide country music star. But it wasn't until her fifth album, Something Up My Sleeve, that she came into her own as a songwriter.
Sometimes we call her name. Hey, Cinderella, what's the story all about?
Hey Cinderella has been a big victory for me. My songwriting is I've been always questioning it, and I'm very hard on myself when it gets time to make an album.
Sometimes we still curse gravity when no one is around. Yeah, dolls gather dust in the corner of the attic, and bicycles rust in the rain. Still we walk in that fabled shadow, and sometimes we call her name. Hey, Cinderella, what's the story all about?
Cinderella was a big hurdle for me because I realized that I said something in that song with the help of my co-writers that has really struck a lot of chords with women, and it makes me feel really good.
And you of tender years.
In between recording and touring, Suzy was asked to contribute to various projects happening around Nashville. She covered Take It to the Limit on the Eagles tribute Common Thread, teamed up with Asleep at the Wheel on the Bob Wills tribute album, and on the Red Hot and Country collection, along with Kathy Mattea and others, harmonized with Graham Nash on the classic Teach Your Children.
Your parents well.
Getting to sing it with Graham Nash live and in person was a pretty amazing thing.
You know that the cover's not going to suffer when you have the...
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, you got the guy there with you, right?
That's true. You know that he's going to tell you, hey, you're wrecking my song.
She surprised a lot of people with her most recent album, a collaboration with the legendary Chet Atkins called Simpatico. Atkins is, of course, one of music's great guitarists and producers.
forget about it. I'm admitting I was wrong, so I'll just take my old guitar and walk out the door.
The album was not a commercial success, perhaps because it was so different. She's pretty adamant that only a certain type of country music is getting played on the radio these days.
Hard to ignore.
The only thing that really bothers me is that we work so hard to get this popularity and to have such an expanded view of what does fit into the country field. I hate to see it limited and put into these categories, and you know, it's really sad. I mean, the females, we've all been able to pretty much keep our styles separate, and we haven't been forced to really succumb to any of those pressures, but the competition's so stiff right now that in order for us girls to get played, you know, we gotta go through 40 cowboys.
I can't remember when it felt so right, so just forget about it. Forget about it.
Hi, this is Dave Lee.
Welcome to another half hour of the best in country and roots music right here on Inside Country. I'm Chaz Hay. Suzy Bogguss has a new CD, a new look, a new baby, and the same terrific voice. That crystal clear voice, along with the energy and pace of all that new stuff, is featured prominently on her latest work called Give Me Some Wheels.
Oh, give me some wheels if I can't have wheels.
You would think that, you know, having a baby, I'd probably get real introspective, and I'd write all these songs about, you know, the world is a scary place, and I hope my baby's going to be safe, and all this stuff.
Right.
But no, I write songs about, hey, let's get out on the open road.
Give me some wheels, man. Driving tunes.
And it's not that I'm trying to escape from my family. That's really not it.
Oh, give me some wheels, put me on the highway, won't look back. Anyway, I'll never be the angel you see in your dreams.
That little voice inside of me that always keeps me going, you know, that drives me all the time, is really strong. And I want this record to reflect that energy that I've absorbed from having this whole experience. And so we just comprised this group of songs that are all, I mean, there's a very large portion of this album that's up-tempo. It just happened to be a real, the energy thing was a big deal when I went to find the material.
Well, Bogguss has an impressive catalog of albums and great songs. Give Me Some Wheels, her 7th, is definitely kicking a little more than her previous work. It's not quite so heavy.
But I was very, very hell-bent that I was going to find songs that were real direct, like Wheels is, and real clear and kind of simple, you know? Which in my past, I've picked a lot of songs that have lots of metaphors and, you know, 3 or 4 double meanings and things that, you know, I like that kind of thing. But this record was going to be different. I wanted to stay focused through the whole thing.
I didn't say we wouldn't hurt anymore, that's how you learn.
In the past, Suzy Bogguss has produced her own albums, but she had more fun putting the new one together because for the first time in years, she wasn't wearing the producer's hat. Scott Hendricks was.
I just needed a break from it because for 5 records in a row, I had worried about whether the guitar player was going to show up for the session and, you know, all of the little details. And this time I really wanted to concentrate on the songs pertaining to the part of my life I was dealing with, you know, I feel a great growth in myself after having a child. And I wanted this to reflect in this, and I didn't want to get so caught up with all of the production mania.
Daddy comes and puts his arms around her. He says, girl, this stocking's starting to run. Now it ain't never been easy.
One of the things about being a mom that has really come out in this record is that I've discovered that, you know, you do have to prioritize. When you become a mom, you become very direct. You know, things that you used to say a long way, you don't have time to say a long way. You know, it's like I said, I named my son Ben because I wanted to be able to say it quickly to stop him from going off a cliff or whatever, you know. Yeah. It's that kind of attitude that comes off in this record that surprised me.
We fell in love and there's no way out. We fell in love and there's no way out.
Even though she chose all the songs on the album, including 3 she co-wrote, it wasn't until Bogguss heard all 10 cuts together as a collection that she realized the album had a theme.
Everything that I picked has to do with, okay, either discovery or, you know, making a decision, that kind of thing, or, you know, you're just dealing with the things in life that you come across. I mean, it's like where I am in my life.
What I'm trying to say is I need a man who don't mind letting me drive. Oh, give me some wheels. Put me
So Suzy's got a new baby, new videos, a new CD with new energy, and something else new that most of her fans are talking about.
It was great seeing you again. You look terrific.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the hair.
Oh, thank you.
It looks great.
It was time for me to cut my hair. It's been like 16 years or something like that since it really been any different, so it was time for a little change.
give me some wheels. Oh, give me some wheels. Give me some wheels. Never be the angel you see in your dreams.
I've never been very good at that, and really it's not my forte, is figuring out what radio's gonna like. I would pick totally different songs than they picked, even probably for my hits, and they've been hits, so what do I know?
I think one of the most